Welcome to Omni on Air, the official podcast of Omni Aviation.
where we dive into the real stories of aviation's finest. I'm your host, Ella.
And I'm Daniel. Welcome back to Omni on Air, the podcast where we explore the stories, challenges, and inspirations of those who soar in the skies. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Ella. Today we're joined by three Omni Aviation instructors behind every pilot's journey. Of course, our ground instructor, our simulator instructor, and our flight instructor, the trifecta of pilot training.
Big three.
Before we dive into the journey and the roles you play, we'd like to get to know you a little bit more, captains. Can you share with us a brief intro of yourself, your current role, and how long you've been with Omni?
Kahit sino, ma'am. Hi, I'm Jeppy Peralta, one of the flight instructors. And I've been here for almost 6 years as an flight instructor. Started at simulator instructor. And currently, I'm the deputy chief flight
Flight
instructor.
training. Go ahead, Captain.
Ako naman po si Kim Flores. I'm a ground instructor here in Omni. Nag-start ako last year lang, April. So, kako 1 year lang din.
Wow.
So, yeah. Yun lang.
Happy anniversary, Cap.
Thank you, thank you.
And of course, Cap Paolo.
Hi, my name is Paolo Vic A. Sudario. So, I'm currently a ground instructor and also a simulator instructor in Omni. So, I've been here as an instructor for almost 3 years. And currently, I am the chief ground instructor and OIC for Chip Synthetic as well. ma'am.
So, to get us started, can you walk us through, captains, the differences of each of those phases in the flight training or pilot training? Starting off with, I think, ground school is the very first stage, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, ano po yung siguro main draw ng ground school? Why is it important? And then we move to simulator and then flight training.
Basically, sa ground school kasi, dun yung theoretical eh.
Mhm.
Bago mo siya i-apply
Mhm.
doon sa mismong actual.
Okay.
Kasi, yung kasi inaakala ng iba, para lang siyang driving school na pagsalang mo, drive na kaagad. Hindi eh. Parang hindi siya mas magiging safe. And alam naman natin na hindi ganun kamura
Yeah.
yung tuition. So, kung doon mo palang aaralin yung theoretical sa mismong flight, mas mapapatagal, mas mapapamahal.
Mm-mm.
And yun nga, hindi siya magiging efficient. And mas maganda siguro na alam mo muna yung theoretical para mas maging safe, basically, yung flight mo.
So, among all of those three stages, ang ground school po ang pinaka-similar to classroom instruction.
Okay.
Tama.
Basically, classroom type
Okay.
siya.
So, when a trainee first comes into Omni or whatever training school, talagang classroom ang una nilang inaabutan. And how do we set the tone for training for all of our new pilot trainees here at Omni? Ano po ba? Welcoming, may orientation po ba tayo?
Meron.
What are the
Parang,
first lessons? Yeah.
Few days before mag-start yung class. Class kasi is 3 weeks.
Mm-mm.
3 weeks yan. So, kung mag-start siya ng Monday, mga Friday, may orientation yan about sa rules ng Omni, kung paano ba, like, yung mga rules nga, ganyan,
Mm-mm.
and so on. So, yan, may orientation naman.
So, meron naman po palang similarities sa actual
parang
school,
ganun
sa
lang.
parang
Hindi lang
traditional
siya
na school.
parang college na, as in sa first day.
Yeah.
Dito first day ng class is class talaga.
Class na. Mhm.
Para 9 to 5, mga ganun na kaagad. Kasi
Mm-mm.
di ba, pag college, high school, ano lang eh, parang intro lang, tas uwian na.
Mm-mm.
Kaya yung mostly mga students, nabibigla sila na klase na agad. Wala nang buwelo-buwelo.
Oo.
Ganun siya nangyayari. So, yung orientation is basically like 3 days before your first class.
Mhm. And then moving on towards simulator training, I know it's a bit of a hybrid Cap,
Yes,
of
ma'am.
the classroom and also a little bit of
Practical.
practice na dun sa practical. Can you walk us through what it's like to do simulator training?
So, after they finish their ground school classes, ma'am, so after all of the assessment, they're gonna be endorsed na for simulator. So, the reason there would be a simulator training is para hindi sila mabigla once they go to flight. So, basically, it's a step-by-step process. So, for them to expose on flight itself. So, in simulator training, we teach them how to fill up documents, taught them some procedures, then how to do the checklists and how to operate the aircraft on the ground, and then fly the aircraft in a less risk environment.
Yeah.
So for starting students for PPL, for 5 lessons, and then after that 5 lessons, they're gonna conduct a assessment, and then after that assessment, they will be introduced to flight training. Naman.
And then flight training, as we know, is the most famous part of the training, so to speak. Yan na talaga yung hinihintay
Hindi
ng...
naman. Kailangan pa rin talaga mag-start sa theoretical.
Okay.
Kasi hindi kami magkakaintindihan ng student nang hindi niya alam yung mga terms basically. Kasi gagamitin namin siya, paano namin siya tuturuan nang hindi niya alam.
Yeah.
Parang sabi niya nga, hindi siya parang sasakyan lang.
Mm-mm.
So, with number 1, safety. So, mas maganda yung, or magiging efficient yung teaching process. Kasi pagdating sa flight, 1 hour lang yan ng lesson. So, kung di niya maintindihan, lahat ng pwede niyang gawin sa baba, which is theoretically, then mag-undergo ng sim to experience ano bang kailangan ko expect sa flight. Para pagdating niya sa actual, hindi na siya mabibigla.
Wala
so,
nang pangangapa.
yung barriers, wala na. Tuloy-tuloy yung instruction, which is skill-wise, yun yung focus during actual flight training.
So, I wanna go back a little bit to what you said. 1 hour usually po ang duration ng training nila. So, upon takeoff, is that when we start counting? Tapos, 1 hour on air lang, Cap.
Once na nag-start yung engine, start na siya ng flight training. Kasi once you boarded, lahat yun incorporated na part na siya.
Okay.
Once na nag-board ka doon, pumasok ka sa ramp, safety-wise, dapat alam niya na yung gagawin niya.
Okay.
Kasi kaya nga, doon papasok yung major part na theoretically tsaka simulator. Kasi pagdating doon, di pwede siyang lacking of knowledge kasi baka madisgrasya.
That really highlights, no, yung importance nung ladder, like, progression, And then, paano po kung gusto niya pang mag-train again for that day? Allowed po ba siya? Or just that 1 hour for that day?
Actually, siyempre kung safety first, kung kaya niya, pero may limit.
Okay.
So, kung pagod na yung student, hindi na siya efficient na wala na siya maintindihan. Lalo na kung actual, multitasking siya . So, kung pagod na yung utak niya, hindi na siya safe.
nag-a-absorb.
Or wala na.
Correct.
Sayang lang.
I love that insight.
And I love how we highlighted the step-by-step process ng pagtuturo. So let's start with our ground instructor. Ano po bang foundation yung ini-embed nyo sa mga students before they start this training? Ano yung expect nila na, okay, ground training muna tayo. Ito yung expect nyo.
Yun nga, kung i-compare ko niya sa driving, hindi siya talaga biro . Lalo na dito, pilot training nga . So parang tinitrain tayo para maging airline pilot kasi sa airline pilot is magdadala ka na ng maraming pasahero.
Buhay.
Hundreds of
Yeah.
people. So ngayon pa lang, yan nga, para sa akin, ang kailangan mo i-build is yung study habit talaga.
Study habit.
Kasi hindi lang dito sa pilot training hanggang maging airlines ka, tuloy-tuloy pa rin . Kasi, kumbaga, naging rated ka sa isang aircraft na to, kung gusto mong mag-level up, mag-aaral ka na naman.
Yeah.
Okay. And kahit yung mga airline pilot na every 6 months, may training sila, may proficiency sila. So, parang, kumbaga, sinasabi ko di ba, madali lang, na walang-wala sa pagdodoktor, walang-wala sa pag-attorney. Pero, hindi, talagang tuloy-tuloy din.
Yeah.
Iba lang siguro ng
Focus.
view, pero
Yeah.
tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung aral. And yun nga, parang sa safety talaga, yung number 1 priority kasi.
I think, yeah.
When would you say na ground training po yung step na pinakamarami kayong ma-absorb na knowledge since theoretical siya?
Sa lahat, actually Kasi, sa ground, theoretical. Pero, in terms of flight naman, experience . Di ba sabi nga,
Yeah.
di ba, yun yung best teacher, experience.
Experience
talaga.
the best.
Although, hindi naman na matuturo lahat ng mga sitwasyon, kasi sobrang daming sitwasyon, pero ang parang binibuild lang is yung mindset ba na laging nandun sa side ng safety.
Para
Parang
ma-prepare.
ganun siya.
To Cap Paolo, my next question. Because what Cap Kim is telling us now, it's ground school is important for the fact na pag-aaralan mo yung theory. And then, flight training is important for the fact na i-apply mo na yung
Apply.
napag-aralan mo. Pero simulator is there in the middle. What would you say to those who argue na hindi na masyado important yung simulator kasi mag-aaral ako ng theories in ground school, i-apply ko sila in flight. So, what's the importance of simulator, would
Bakit
you say,
kailangan
Cap?
dumaan
Ba't
pa
kailangan
dun?
pa yung step na yun?
It's because the simulator is a parang connection or bridge that will connect ground school to flight.
Mm-mm.
Because when you directly, pwede naman before without the simulator yung mga old generation. But there is a increase of safety when the simulator was added to the program itself.
Yeah.
So basically, what we applied in ground school theoretically, that it is expected that to be learned or experienced in flight is all applied na sa simulator.
Mm-mm. So, I think it's a process of getting hands-on experience without that much of the risk.
Yes.
Tama po ba siya?
Na
Add ko
sinabi
lang,
ni
no?
Sir yan.
Add ko lang, sir. Kasi sa SIM, yung ginagawa ni Kapaw, may mga scenarios kasi na ayaw na natin mangyari sa totoong buhay.
Yeah.
Alam mo, like yung mga emergencies.
Yeah.
So, doon natin siya sinisimulate para if
I
ever
see.
mangyari siya.
Okay,
alam
that's
natin
a
kung
great
anong
insight. So, dun sa sim, just for the fact that it's simulating, right, the experience, meron tayong opportunity to show them how to respond to not an ideal situation without the safety issues connected to it.
Oo, parang ganun.
So,
sila.
meron pong mga ganong simulations talaga.
Kasi-
Can you share some examples?
Yan, yung mga engine failure, yan, yung mga
Ah.
adverse weather.
Mm-mm.
For example, nawala ng visibility, ganyan, mga malalakas na hangin. Yan, yung mga
So,
Oo nga
na-experience na
naman, no?
nila.
Kasi kung gusto nyo i-train yung isang estudyante na masanay sa harsh weather, hindi naman na, uy, harsh weather ngayon, lipad ka.
Oo,
ganyan."
hindi
Tama.
ganun.
So, dun papasok
Actually,
yung
yung
simulator.
sinasabi ko kayo na every 6 months, yung mga airliners, ganun din, puro emergency lang sila.
Okay.
Para, kumbaga, ma-review, mabalik sa utak nila.
Ma-sharpen sila,
Oo,
I love that insight. That's something new that we didn't know before. So that, again, reinforces the importance of each of the steps. Hindi pwedeng after ground school, o Gina,
Gina, lipad
ready
na.
na tayo. Kasi super important nga din ng simulator. I love that. So my next question would be, to Cap Jeppy, the next part of the training. How rigorous do you think po the ground part and the sim part should be para by the time nalilipad na sila, talagang
Prepared.
ready na?
Nasa student naman yun. Kung gusto niya yung ginagawa niya, hindi siya magiging rigorous eh.
Mm.
Nagsa-start sa kanya yon. Kung gusto niya yung ginagawa niya, parang nag-enjoy lang siya.
Mm-mm.
Kasi bawat basa niya ng mga natututunan niya, then pagdating sa simulator, may experience niya, ito pala yon. Mas na-enjoy nila yun, mas nag-absorb. Kaya pagdating nilang actual, oo, mahirap, pero dahil masaya sila, dahil, wow, ito na yon.
Yeah.
So, parang
Mas
hindi,
yung
ayaw,
excitement.
yun yung maganda sa flight training.
Yeah.
No, yung parang tinatanggal namin yung kung matakot, enjoy mo kasi part yan eh.
Mm-mm.
So, once na matanggal na yung mga tense, dahil nga, kailangan na naman mag-aral, ang hirap naman ito. So, kung iisipin nila na ganun, that's it eh.
Yeah.
Hanggang mag-airline ka, hindi naman ito yung napag-aralan mo dito, yan na yun eh. May dagdag pa. Kung dito pa lang, nahirapan ka, tsatsagain mo talaga dapat. Ganun talaga siya yung flight training.
Pero sa totoo lang, Miss Ella, I love how yung consistency nandun na passion talaga.
Yeah, across all our
Laging
episodes.
Laking factor ng passion. Na yun,
Yeah.
kahit gaano kahirap. So, to our ground instructor, dive naman tayo ng konti deeper into technicality. Ano yung pinakaunan yung tinuturo sa isang estudyante when it comes to ground training?
Hindi ko alam kung technical tong sagot ko, pero tingin ko yung respect
Oh,
Respect.
sa mga instructors.
Respect sa lahat.
Sa lahat.
Oo, kasi hanggang airlines, I mean, para saan pa yung knowledge kung di ka naman marunong mag-respect?
Yeah.
Respeto. And kung ma-hire ka man sa airline, pagtapos ng training mo, kung di mo kaya respect yung iba, kung di mo kaya respect yung company,
Wala lang din.
I mean, hindi ka rin magtatagal. Di ba? Hindi ka rin nila re-respetuhin kasi hindi mo ma-earn yung respect nila eh. So, yun. And actually, yun nga, pag according lang doon sa mga narinig ko, hindi lang kung mag-apply ka sa mga airlines, hindi lang naman yung technical yung titingnan sa'yo eh.
Okay.
Pati yung, di ba, kung paano ka mag-work sa iba't ibang mga environment. So, and actually, sa buhay-buhay, sobrang importante na ng respect.
So I think that's actually an insight we also got from another episode na yung pagbow sa mga co-pilots. Minsan daw po nadadala na sa mall, ganyan.
Oo.
So I think no, so important but because I think one of the things that we also discussed before was KSA, knowledge, skill, and attitude. And that comes into the A, the attitude part, na maituturo din. But aside from that, meron po ba kayong masasabi na subject or core competency or knowledge na dapat alam mo muna yon before ever going into simulator, before ever going into flight?
Tingin ko
Aside from
lahat actually, lahat ng subjects. I mean,
Okay.
in the first place, di naman siya tuturo kung di siya kailangan.
Correct.
Kung may mamiss ka lang na isa doon, hindi ba pwede na maapektuhan yung safety ng aircraft.
Okay.
Oo.
So talagang super important ang ground, ano? Not something that they should breeze through.
Mm.
And I love how you're very direct to the point,
Oo
sir,
nga.
para sa mga listeners natin.
So,
Thank you.
para naman po dun sa mga gusto mag-enroll at gusto nilang maintindihan ng konti yung process bago sila mag-onboard, can you walk us through ano po yung tests or assessments that we do para even before they become students, medyo pinaprep na nila yung sarili nila na may quiz or merong interview. Ano po ba yung process from ground to sim to flight?
So from ground school, ma'am, depende sa course. So usually 3 weeks. Then after that 3 weeks, they will have an assessment for exam.
Okay.
And then after
And that's
the
pen and paper.
pen and
sir.
paper. Actually, computer-based na.
Okay.
Technology.
Tama naman.
Then after that, panel assessment, if they really understand the topics. Then after that, they're gonna be endorsed to sim. Then after simulator, so exam again, what they were taught or understand the simulator training. Then once they pass, panel again, assessment. And then they're gonna be endorsed na to flight.
And then on flight cap, ano po yung assessment process? On air talaga. Ano po yung, paano po ginagawa yun?
Assessment is performance-based siya.
Okay.
So, ganun pa rin, sinusunod namin yung syllabus per lesson, pero hindi siya limited in 1 hour. So, hanggat di nagigets ni student, we don't go to or progress to the next lesson.
So, hindi siya formal na, okay,
Mm.
ito na yung assessment ko sa'yo.
Oo,
Gawin
kasi
mo lahat now. Mhm.
pahirap yung lesson
Okay.
eh.
Mhm.
Tapos, lalo na yung lesson na touch and go, talagang combination na siya eh.
Mm-mm.
So kung isa doon, hirap siya, paano pa yung touch and go matututunan?
Okay.
So kailangan talaga performance-based. Hanggat di niya nagigets, kaya yun yung importansya rin ng simulator. Kung nagets niya na doon, same lang naman eh, actual.
Ang galing. So, continue siya. Hindi kagaya ng sim and ground na, ito yung checkpoint mo. Check na kita.
After noon, may assessment pa ng different perspective ng co-instructor flight. So kung okay na siya sa akin, palipad ko sa secondary instructor.
Okay.
So assess niya rin, talagang pwede na talaga siya.
So, may extra
So,
layer.
ganun
Let's
siya.
go back to that. But I had a question first on the ground and sim side na nasabi natin. May assessment na naman na panel. What's the importance of an interview, captains? Bakit kailangan niya? Kung meron naman silang computerized or pen and paper type na susundan na quiz na when they ace that, why is it important to still do interviews with them?
Actually, the exam is more on memorization. But for panel, do you really understand the topic that was discussed during ground school? So that's the only time that we think that you're ready for flight if you understand all of what was discussed during those time. Also in sim, so more on memorization of procedures, checklists, and then once on the assessment, do you really understand what was taught during the simulator? So sometimes students will argue, not naman argue, ma'am, parang sabi nila, ano ba important
Yeah.
ng panel or assessment? It's also a good training ground na once you go to airlines, once they hire, they do this panel interview as
Yes.
well. So they test your knowledge theoretically if you really understand the topics that was discussed during your flight training because it's also applicable to them.
So, more application. To Captain Kim, is there a specific, siguro, tell or proficiency you're looking for when you do these types of interviews?
Wala naman kasi yun nga, standard naman yung process eh.
Mm-mm.
So yun nga kasi basically parang ano din siya eh. It's more on parang redundancy.
Okay.
Okay, kasi 'di ba meron tayong meron tayong levels of learning eh, 'di ba? May rote, Ibig sabihin, naaalala mo, meron tayong understanding, and meron tayong correlation. So basically, rote is exam, understanding is panel, and correlation is flight. Parang ganun siya nangyayari.
I love that. Bago na namang insight from us.
Parang ganun
So,
siya nangyayari.
my next question, going back to what you shared, Cap, Jappy, na meron pa palang secondary check, that there is another instructor who would come into the mix and also check on their end kung gaano ka-proficient na si pilot. Gaano po ka-importante would you say that process? Na meron pang isang piloto na mag-ano sa kanya, mag-clear sa kanya.
Kasi maganda siya, ma'am, kasi hindi pwedeng in one perspective na okay eh. Kasi katulad sa kanya, kung kunwari siya yung secondary, palipad ko sa kanya yung student ko, mayroon siya nakikitang weaknesses pa rin eh, na pwede pang i-polish.
Okay.
So, with that, napaka-effective niya na, o nga no, sige, i-ano ko pa siya,
Okay.
i-polish ko pa.
Mm-mm.
Para bago siya ma-release, talagang walang,
Airtight na siya.
oo, wala kaming kaba na,
Yeah.
wala. Talagang kampante kami once na-release namin yung student na mag-isa.
So, meron po kasi kaming previous episode in which it was discussed na there is rapport also between a student and their main instructor, di ba? Na minsan friends na din sila. Meron din po bang factor yon na syempre kayo po yung lagi niyang instructor, friends na kayo, close na kayo, komportable na siya. So, dapat ma-check siya ng iba para kung tense yung situation or bago sa kanya, meron ding check na kaya niya pa rin. Do you think that's a factor?
Usually nga, pag ako, may papacheck ako, yung pinakaayaw nilang instructor yung binibigay. Kasi pagdating mo naman sa airline, hindi mo naman kilala yung
Hindi niyo
instructor
mapipili.
mo.
Tama.
Eh.
mapipili.
Yung
Sino
kalipad mong
magche-check
kapitan,
sa'yo?
hindi mo rin kilala.
Tama.
Paano? Kailan niya matututunan makihalubilo sa different instructors?
Mm-mm.
So, yun. Pag pressured yung student, then nakaka-perform pala siya, it's a good training pa rin
Yeah.
sa'yo pagdating mong airline.
That's 100% peak, no? Kasi hindi siya komportable, pero kaya
Yun naman
niya pa
yun
din.
yung pressure, how do you handle yung tasks kahit
Yeah.
under pressure.
Yeah. Great insight.
Yun.
While
Yun
we're
talaga.
on the topic of sa assessment, since kayo mga instructors, you get to have a first-person perspective sa mga estudyante. Ano ba yung mga kadalasang errors or kahinaan nila in each type of fields na napapansin nyo na madalas dito silang factor nagkakamali sa ground, ditong factor sila nagkakamali sa sim, and dito silang factor nagkakamali sa flight?
Siyempre, pag di nag-aaral, siyempre, number one. Pero isa pa is, pwede rin is, pag ino-overthink nila masyado, hindi nila ine-enjoy yung, yun pala yun.
Okay.
Wala yung feeling na gano'n, parang inisip na agad yung, tatanong ba yan sa quiz, tatanong ba yan sa paano, tatanong ba yan sa exam. So, nawawala na yung enjoyment
Joy
ng,
of learning. Yeah.
enjoyment of learning, basically. So, yun.
So I think sa sim naman, pag na-overwork na yung students sa sobrang dami ng workload, sa sobrang daming inisip ginagawa, they tend to forget things, tapos nakalimutan, that led to series of errors. So dito, we still guide them until makuha nila at ma-memorize nila, until we debrief of what happened during the sim, and then what we need to need to improve once we do our next sim sessions. So parang hindi nila magawa sa sim, and then once they go to flight as well.
Then on the flight side,
Sa
Cap.
flight side naman, kailangan lang talaga. Kasi dahil sila ay from 0 hour, tuturuan mo eh. So, kailangan mo lang ng pasensya. Kasi hindi naman kanya kayang gawin lahat ng task in one flight yun eh. So, kailangan mo lang na ipaintindi dun sa student na, oo, dadan talaga tayo. Pati ako duman sa ganyan eh. So, kailangan mo lang din na i-explain ng maayos sa kanila na, oo, mahirap. Pero once na nakuha mo yan, dyan na yan.
Yeah.
Sa umpisa lang mahirap kasi first time mo eh. Pero once you get the hang of it, yan na, tuloy-tuloy na yan. Pero at and then the end of the day, polish pa rin.
Yeah.
Dagdag pa rin ng dagdag.
And while we're on the topic, na curious para sa mga estudyante, are they expected to move back and forth or laging dire-diretso yung ano? May instances ba na after niya nag-sim, hindi pa medyo ready, babalik siyang ground? May ganong instance? May ganong instances.
May ganun.
I see.
So, pag may mga assessments na mayroong maximum takes lang kasi.
Okay.
Okay, for example, panel, naka-38 ka pa rin pero hindi ka pa rin nakalagpas or hindi ka pa nakaprogress yun. May mga sit-ins na pwedeng gawin para kahit pa paano ma-review siya, then bago siya mag-next na panel, edi kahit pa paano na nalaman niya na yung mga di niya nasagot sa panel. Parang ganun.
How do you usually handle, captains, mga ganong cases? I know outliers naman, di naman masyadong common, no, yung mga bumabalik. Pero how do you handle that? Especially kasi if I were the student, I'd get a little bit discouraged knowing na nakapasa na ako pero bumalik pa ako. How do you motivate them or how do you handle teaching them again to be more effective?
Sa akin kasi, in terms of ground school, so classroom type, ganyan. Sabi ko, pag medyo may mga retake sila sa exam, sabi ko, okay lang yan. Kasi hindi naman ibig sabihin, may palakol ka sa grades mo, bad pilot ka na kaagad eh.
Yeah.
Kaya hindi ka na agad marunong mag-landing. Kailangan mo lang talaga muna malagpasan or aralin para pagdating na ready ka na, parang gano'n. So hindi ka, parang hindi yung ba kasi di ba pag college, high school, parang tingin nila yun yung de-define sa kanila as a
Yeah.
person. Hindi naman gano'n eh.
Okay.
Diba? And yun nga, experience pa rin. Kaya nga doon nga natututo sa mga pagkakamali, sabi nila. Diba? So, yun.
Ka, Paolo, any insights?
In simulator naman, di naman nagba-back and forth, ma'am. It's just basically, for example, they're expected for 5 lessons. So first stage, if they pass it, progress to next. If second stage, they finish, okay, progress to next. If the third one, they have a hard time, so let's repeat it. Maybe you have a hard time understanding it. And then if you improve, let's proceed. So, kumbaga, step by step naman,
Step
sir.
by step.
So, kumbaga, hindi naman back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So, once they're okay with the stages or lessons itself, we continue progress.
And then the process repeats after, for example, they get their first bar na, diba? From PPL and then to CPL, they go back to ground school.
Yes,
Ganun po ulit yung proseso. In your experience po ba, mas madali nang turuan yung mga may PPL license na, CPL license na, to IR na?
Yes, ma'am. Kasi they already have the knowledge na experience now when they conduct their PPL training. So, kumbaga, hindi na nahihirapan. Some
Yeah.
of the CPL topics is more on review what was taught during
Okay.
PPL. But of course, there would be additional knowledge for the advancement of CPL training.
Mhm. This is the same case for flight training, Cap, na kapag tapos na siya mag-PPL, ay madali na to kapag instructor niya po kayo ng CPL.
Yes, ma'am. Pag PPL kasi talagang dun yung ano eh, ang hirap. Kasi
Learning
from
curve.
0R eh.
Yeah.
Kasi pag nag-solo na yan, yun na yun eh. Mas yung confidence nila nabuboost. So pagdating ng CPL, kailangan mo lang din i-introduce na, CPL ka na. Ba't yung liparan mo parang PPL? So parang nahihiya rin sila kasi mga kasabayan nila lumilipad, nag-aaral, alam nilang nag-dance sila ron. Hindi ko nga, dapat CPL na yung level ko. So, nag-boost din sa kanila yung ganong way ng pagsabi sa kanila ng
Yeah.
ganon.
So quite similar din sa freshman, sa sophomore, and then junior, senior.
And for sure, sa inyong instructor, iba na rin yung expectation nyo dapat sa kanila. Na
Yes.
dapat CPL na kayo, alam nyo na to. Ganyan.
So I guess on the last note, to wrap up the discussion, how important is it that each of the instructors across these stages is in contact or meron po talagang parang synergy between you guys as you're teaching a student? Na dapat, for example, si Cap Jep, alam niya kung ano yung feedback ni Cap Paulo or si Cap Paulo alam niya yung feedback ni Cap Kim from ground school. Meron po bang ganong synergy doon or is it more of an independent learning process across each of these phases?
May times naman, ma'am, pagka ganyan, kunwari, na may bago ang student, inialam ko rin kung sino yung, or ano yung case niya. Kasi kita naman sa performance card eh.
Yeah.
Then, you could ask naman sa ground instructor, ano ba to? Paano ba to maayos ba to? Pagdating naman sa sim, tanong din, kamusta yung handling niya sa simulator? So, nag-aral ba? Para pagdating sa actual, may konting idea ka na kung paano siya i-handle. So, tas papanoorin mo lang, titingnan mo lang kung ganun nga ba talaga. Siyempre, hindi naman based lang din sa sinabi nila. So, once na makita mo naman yung performance, pinpoint lang and pag-aralin lang yung student kung saan yung mga weaknesses niya.
In your experience, Cap Kim, is it the same na you would give feedback to the future parang pilot trainee or trainer na-assign sa kanya if you feel like the case needs it. Ganun ba?
Oo, ganun din. And sa case naman ng mga ground instructor, kasi syempre hindi naman lagi, ikaw yung una magtuturo, ikaw yung first day. So ako,
Yeah.
nakakahingi naman ako ng feedback dun sa mga first lesson na nagturo na ako, kamusta, nakikinig ba, sumasagot ba, nagsi-cellphone lang ba, inaantok ba, parang, so paano ba yung nagiging atake, kumbaga, or
Yeah.
i-attack mo dun sa ano nila, kumbaga, paano sila matututo. And yun, nagbibigay din naman kami sa sim, kung kailangan i-prove na, ganito yan,
Yeah.
kapaw, ganito yan, kapaw, parang ganun din. So, sa lahat naman, kung basically, tulungan din siya.
Yeah.
Oo.
So how important is that relationship, kumbaga, among these instructors, Kapaw?
It's very important that we always communicate because here in pilot training school, we really want our student to excel.
Yeah.
So to become pilots or well prepared for the airline industry. Not airline industry, but all industry across aviation on the entire world. So we always communicate for the betterment of our students.
I love it. Talagang para sa estudyante. As a closing message or as a way to close out our discussion today, can you give some of our students, especially the ones that you guys are handling now, a message to boost, their motivation, inspiration to keep moving forward in their training?
And also for those considering enrollment
Yeah.
here in Omni.
We can start with Cap Jeff.
Okay. Unang-una, kailangan, in everything you do, kailangan gusto nyo siya or mahal mo siya. Ang hirap gawin ng isang bagay na hindi mo gusto, na pinipilit ka lang. Doon magsa-start kasi yun. So, then magpo-flow na lang yung kung ano yun. Then set your goals. Huwag ka lang mag-stick sa small goals. Bigger goals, foresee mo na para mas ma-motivate ka in everything you do.
For me, I'm advising students currently and those who will want to become a pilot, especially in Omni. So you need to have the discipline. So discipline that there would be times that you really need to study. There are times that you need to excel every time when you fly. And also have the passion for this industry. So basically, it's not really easy. So some is, sabi nila, they want to become a pilot because malaking sweldo, which is totoo naman once you go with the bigger companies na. But at the end of the day, is it really the money ba talaga?
Yeah.
So there are a lot of industry who offers a lot. Okay? But it's passion for this industry because there will be a lot of hardships and trials as you progress for this career.
Doc Kim?
Sa akin naman, para dun sa mga pinanghihinaan ng loob, kaya nyo rin yan. Kasi kung nagawa ng iba sa sobrang dami ng piloto, ba't di nyo kaya?
Yeah.
Magagawa niyo.
Diba? So, yun, kung gusto may paraan, kung ayaw may dahilan.
Dahilan.
And yun, tsaka lagi kayo magdasal. Importante magdasal. So, yun lang naman.
Passion and prayers.
Yes.
Is what's so important. And that actually brings us to the end of our episode for Omni On Air. Maraming salamat po to our captains.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much for
Pleasure.
gracing
Thank you po, sir.
this podcast. So we hope this episode has given clarity to all the aspiring aviators out there about what really goes into professional pilot training from ground school to simulation to real flight.
Until then, I am Danielle.
And I'm Ella. Thank you.